Hi, I'm Sabreena Delhon, Executive Director of the Samara Centre for Democracy. I'm thrilled that our upcoming In Defense of Democracy annual event takes place this year on Thursday, November 9th at Toronto's Winter Garden Theatre. And I'm even more excited to share that this year's special guest is award-winning, internationally recognized journalist Lisa LaFlamme. Lisa is also a board member at the Samara Centre, and she'll be sitting down with Nahlah Ayed, host of CBC Radio's IDEAS, to talk about the future of our democracy. But she's sitting down with me first to talk about what we can expect to hear that evening. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Sabrina. It's great to be here with you.
So I've got a few questions for you. A free press is essential to any healthy democracy. As someone who has covered international news and events from places where democracy is regressing or out of reach, how would you describe the state of media and press freedom today?
Well, I would definitely describe the state of press freedom as obviously complex and varied depending on where you are in the world. The goal everywhere, no matter where you are, is to hold truth to power. But in far too many countries, journalists are intimidated, harassed, face censorship, even violence, uh, all in their pursuit of the truth. Now, in Canada, obviously, we have a much more robust democracy in comparison, but even in Canada, there are challenges to that, and we need to be aware of them. I would say number one is access to freedom of information. This is a real issue. Redactions, unwarranted delays. These are things that are counterproductive to any democracy. Concentration of media ownership is a very big issue in this country. Certainly, it limits the diversity in voices. That's something we really need to discuss and analyze. And thirdly, I would say the digital challenge. The battle against disinformation online is really one of the largest we face in our pursuit of democracy, to maintain democracy, not to mention the harassment of journalists online. So these are the things that even in a robust democracy, we have to deal with on a daily basis.
Why is a free press so important to a healthy democracy?
I would say a free press is so critical to a healthy democracy because it really is the watchdog. The journalists are holding public officials, elected officials, accountable for their actions on the things that really impact our daily lives. It's that scrutiny that leads to transparency, which should in turn lead to ethical behavior in how decisions are made when it comes to the laws that govern us and the way we live our lives. That's why it's so critical.
You know that a lot of the work we do here at the Samara Center is about getting people to care about democracy, making it meaningful. We want to make it easier for people to talk about and participate in politics. But how do you do that? How do you get people to care? How do you get people to give a shit about democracy?
That is the big question. And I've found just through decades of covering countries where democracy is only a word and free press is only a word, that is where they are willing to die for it. Sadly, I think in Canada, we take democracy and a free press for granted. Uh, People don't seem to realize the connection between democracy and their mortgage or democracy and their grocery bill. This is where we need to draw that link and help people understand that we have the power to help shape the future. So if you don't like it, you can change it. Why? Because we have a democracy. These are the things I think if people could recognize their power, they wouldn't be so quick to give it up.
World Cities Day is on October 31st, and I know you feel that civic engagement at that local level is pretty key to democracy and that there is a lot of that power there. Why does that matter? Why does local civic engagement hold such significance right now?
I would say always local engagement is everything. I mean, it's where everything begins in our hometown, in the cities that we live in. It's the first place we take our children to a park or to a school, where we care about garbage pickup every week, road closures every day. These are the things that directly impact our lives, and we have a right, certainly a right, and a responsibility to help manage and maintain it. We have a say in that. And I think that people, again, don't seem to realize we're so quick to complain, but at the same time, we're reluctant to climb in, to get on board when it really is something that affects and can change the way we live. So again, I say this all the time, low voter turnout in a local election is something that just confounds me, because this is where change starts. And if you can have a robust democracy locally, everything flows from that. Your province, your country, the world. Why would we give up that power when it is our right here in this country?
Yeah, that's the foundation. Well, Lisa, we recently welcomed you as a board member at the Samara Centre for Democracy. Could you talk about why our work matters in this moment?
Oh boy, I would say the work at Samara Centre for Democracy matters more now than ever. I feel like we're really at a turning point in this country and globally. There is a perception, a reality that people are dissatisfied, disillusioned with the leaders, with the decisions that shape our lives. And in that sense, the Samara Center helps educate. Number one, educate. It's like a toolkit on how the house is built, how to keep the house from falling down, and where the cracks are. And at the moment, I think I see so many cracks because we are such a divided and polarized nation and world. And it's because of that that I was so thrilled to join the board of Samara Center for Democracy, because it is the fundamental foundation really of our society, is to have this democracy, and for us to not even be aware of it is just a tragedy. So the Samara Center gives us education through its research on what's it like to be a member of parliament, in the podcast, which I just loved so much. But it isn't just about attracting good people to government. It's about keeping them there. And I think that is one of the things that the Samara Center, through its research, has really given us a keen view of what life is like and what we can do to really pay attention to what's happening on our watch. I just don't know why people would look away. These are the tools, as I say, that help us have a fair and just democracy. And it's thanks to the center that we have any idea that some of these challenges exist, and perhaps what we can do to try to right the road that we might be on so that it doesn't get worse than it already is on a polarization front.
We're so grateful for your support and so glad to have you on our board. Um, Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. On behalf of the Samara Center for Democracy, we can't wait to see you in Nahlah on November 9th. And for those of you who would like to attend in person, visit samaracentre.ca for ticket details. Thanks.
Thank you, Sabreena. Looking forward to the big night.
Yeah.